Welcome back to the Unfocused podcast, guys. We have a special one today for you, and it is Gib versus Jake, and we're going to go through it, give our opinions, say what we thought of the fight, and just digress.
Yeah, so obviously last night, or this morning I suppose, about 3 o'clock I think it was, Jake Paul and ANESONGIB, that happened, and it happened very quickly. It was over within the first round. Obviously, if you haven't seen the result, either go watch it or let us tell you about it. It's up to you, but we are going to be saying the result and what happened. Yeah, it's already up there, so if any of you haven't seen it, the whole minute and a bit of it is there. Over an 18-minute video, so it's up to you if you want to watch all of it or just skip through it. But yeah, we're just going to talk about that. Obviously, like I say, Gib did end up losing.
It's a disappointing result.
Very unfortunate. And we're just going to analyse as best as we can what the hell happened, to be honest.
I mean, one thing I can give Gib props for, he lasted longer than I do, so right there.
He did. He gave it a go.
He did.
I think there was a lot wrong with how he approached it.
Yeah.
He literally looked like Bambi on ice.
His legs were shaking from before he went in, man. Like, he didn't need to get it.
You can tell he hadn't worked much on his footwork. He had such a wide and such a flat stance from the off, and charging someone down, particularly with just coming head on at them, is never gonna work. And we saw him stumbling everywhere, kept getting caught with little pop shots and flying all over the ring.
I mean, what I saw from his training, he was working on power and like explosive power, so like swinging all of his weight into his hits and things. But he just needed a lot more work on footwork, and I think if he just, rather than focusing on power, if they focused on accuracy and like combos, he'd have been a lot better.
Yeah, you saw Jake put a couple of shots in.
Yeah.
Here and there. I saw one where he put a big right hand to the body and then a left hand over the top, then left hook, which caught Gib. And I think since from the first knockdown, Gib just kind of was throwing too many big shots, overhand left, overhand right. Like obviously, like JJ did in the first one, he just kept doing that, and like you say, he didn't need to. He just kept throwing them, and they kept missing or kept catching. But then he kept having the worst of the exchanges, and it just kept going on like that. Then throughout the duration of the short fight. Yeah,
like why continue to do something that you just get battered for doing? Change it up, like.
He kept bobbing up and down as well, and I mean, I can understand obviously ducking for the body. I can understand that, but it was very low, very low,
really low. And I don't know if you've seen Vidal Wali's video from a few days ago, but in that they went through like a day in sort of Gib's training, and that was mentioned there, the explosive power, like that's what they were focusing on. But then also one about the head movement, because Gib comes forward a lot as a fighter. That's just the type of fighter he is. He's aggressive and relentless pressure. And they were like, in that video, they were saying you have to move your head because otherwise you're just gonna get battered. I mean, yeah, he moved his head, but like, why was he squatting down? Like, and
he seemed to move his body more than the head. To be honest, the head just kind of went with it. It's wasn't ducking or moving with his head. He was taking his whole body, which meant Jake could still see where he wanted to pop his shot.
I mean, he was stumbling all over the place before he even got hit. Like, literally nearly on his arse because he was just squatting down.
The first knockdown came from a knee to the ground. Obviously, I think he took that one on literally on the chin. And carried on. I think he looked very He looked nervous from the start, I thought. I think in the press conferences he looked very nervous. And then from there, obviously, then the second one, which you could debate possibly wasn't a knockdown. I think the more you look at the shots, I've seen sort of a slow motion replay on it, and he did get caught.
Yeah.
I think he didn't argue with it or anything like that, so I suppose in his mind he did get clocked. And then obviously then the third one from there, just it was it. He just took a knee again, and then that was it. Three knockdowns in a round, and he was done.
It was pathetic because like he didn't like need to go on his knee. Like it's just disappointing to see, really, because they weren't even good knockdowns. They weren't good. It wasn't a good fight. It wasn't.
It was a whitewash, really. He just came into it, and it looked almost like he was accepting that he was being whooped. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he just wasn't trained the right way or what. Like,
Well, I've seen Vidal's video on why he slapped KSI, which was quite an interesting video on all the build up to it. KSI wasn't putting in the work, and I assume he would be a similar way with Gib.
Yeah, definitely.
But it doesn't look like they've done any technique training.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Really, it just looked like they went, right, that's your thing, is to rush forward, which is great in a when he was against Jay Swingler and Max Plate's FIFA at the time, because neither of them had any athleticism particularly.
Yeah.
And then you come into to a ring with Jake, who does have a bit of technique behind him. He didn't look rushed.
No.
He looked really quite professional about it, to be honest.
As much as we both hate Jake as a person, we do just have to give him props, really.
Oh, the way he held himself was he stayed behind the jab, he kept at a distance, he wanted it.
He did, yeah.
And kept using the right correctly.
Dictate the tempo or anything. He just kept calm, and he got the 3 knockdowns, so that was it. He won. Like,
I think Gib looked too much into the fact that Jake's going to panic.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously, in an environment like that, you have to look at the fight as the opposition isn't going to perform at his worst. You have to look at it and go into it thinking he's going to perform at his best. So you should have looked at it. What if Jake can fight off the back foot? What do I do then? And he didn't have an answer to it when Jake started firing back.
And like, for his second knockdown, he just basically sprinted at him, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, he charged, didn't he?
It was just like he was just trying to be a rhino or something, man.
It was a poor performance. It was a very, very poor performance. I think he'll be disappointed. I think it could have gone a lot longer. I did predict it to be a Jake win, but I don't think Gib gave any sort of performance that he's capable of. Although I still think he would have lost even at his best.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Gib just, if he maybe had longer to train, like actually train, not like for his first 2 fights. Like if he had a proper camp, maybe he a proper camp for, I don't know, a year and a half. Like Logan and KSI did. They had ages to train and everything.
Yeah, I mean, possibly you brought it up just before we started about neither of them looking particularly in shape, or
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Jake looked relatively good. To be fair, I think Gib has lost quite a bit of weight to put on, quite a bit of muscle, but
like decent. Like they were cruiserweight.
There's a size advantage. There's there's definitely a difference when you looked at them. Regardless of height, there's a difference in stature.
Yeah.
Obviously that played a part in it, and I don't think Gibbs' shot hurt, and I think Jake's evidently did.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't the biggest of shots, really.
I mean, looking at them both, Jake looked the worst off. I mean, he was a bit bloody and everything, and Gib, I don't know. Maybe it was they just wasn't used to the 10-ounce gloves and no head guards.
It could well have been. Am I right in saying that there's a different weight glove to what KSI Logan fought?
I believe it was. I mean, I've seen a video which said it was 10-ounce gloves.
I was wondering if the KSI one was 8 ounce.
No, it was 10-ounce because this is the Eddie Hearn meme, and there's gonna be a knockout this fight. Yeah. No head guards, 10-ounce gloves.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But I mean, with KSI now, I'm assuming it'll be the fight between him and Jake, more than likely at the end of this year rather than anytime soon.
Yeah, that's it.
And I can see it going only one way.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just think KSI just has too much power for Jake. Just like
I don't know what the weight difference is.
The Gib and Jake are cruiserweight.
No, that's what JJ and Logan were. Yeah. So they'll come in the same category at least.
I'd say JJ's likely to be heavier, mind.
Yeah, again, when they faced off, he was taller.
Yeah, but then again, he can also have a low percentage of body fat as you saw against Joel. That he can cut down and shred. So the weight, I don't think the weight will be an issue as such.
I would say that the JJ will knock him out. That's my prediction. Off the bat, obviously, we'll probably have a different prediction closer to the time.
Yeah.
I would say there's going to be a knockout. I think that'll be the first professional YouTube fight which has a knockout. But that's not to say that it's not going to be a close fight.
Yeah.
I think to be honest, probably again like the first Logan JJ fight is going to be a first couple of rounds to Jake, and then I think Jake was knackered. I was watching interviews and he was panting.
Oh really?
And that was from the first round. You know, and if he's getting knackered after that, I think it's JJ's to win then.
Wow. I mean, we saw in the build-up to the fight, Jake obviously running up in mountains in I think California.
Yeah.
High altitudes, obviously less oxygen. It helps with your cardio a lot, but I mean, maybe he just didn't do enough of it.
Yeah, it could have been anything, any sort of adrenaline jumps.
Yeah.
Dump. So he was just shattered going into it, but yeah, he was panting, and I think that's going to play a part if and when that does happen.
Yeah, I mean, as we've seen from JJ, like he's a relentless animal. I mean, just a better version of Kim, like.
Yeah, a much stronger. I think there's more of a technicality to when JJ does it, and I think that's gonna be the difference.
Then also Logan having fought JJ and being the brother of Jake, I wonder if they'll play a factor in anything, because obviously Logan give Jake tips or advice or how he felt against his punches or anything. I don't know if it'll matter.
I think in terms of being able to give any sort of advice or any sort of direction, I think Jake's in a better position.
Yeah.
I don't think Gib can really feed much back to JJ.
Well, I mean, the fight wasn't long enough. He just got hit a few times and went down.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. It's a shame. It really is.
But yeah, little short one for you today, guys. That's kind of covered everything, really. I think it's just a little brief summary of the battering.
Yeah.
Hopefully, when the next one comes, we can do another little short one, and it'll be on a more positive UK win.
Hopefully, I mean, obviously, I still have a lot of respect for Gib. Just didn't perform.
Yeah.
Didn't perform.
Oh yeah, I mean, as a YouTube creator, absolutely, absolutely fine. There's no queries. I mean, the fact he's got in the ring is more than a lot of people. So, credit to him. Credit to Jake. As much as I don't like to say it, I can't wait to see him get annihilated later on in this year.
Go
And
on.
yeah, that's it, I think.
Thank you for listening.
Peace, people.
Peace.